Questions clients ask: how many projects do you take on at a time? Now, if you're not full time in a writing position, as a full time editor, or full time ghostwriter, or full time freelance writer, then then no, I would only take on one author at a time, because you really just don't have the capacity to do them justice if your attention is divided between your full time position and your part time business, or your part time endeavor, if you will. But aside from that, if you're a self-employed, independent service professional, then yes, you should take on more than one ghostwriting client at a time. For me, I usually try to have two major projects and two minor projects going at any one time. The major project for me is ghostwriting from scratch. A minor project is going to be coaching an author, editing a manuscript, doing a manuscript consultation, maybe doing a line edit for someone. Um, and there are three reasons that I always try to have um, two major and two minor projects at any given point in time. The number one reason is because I have the capacity to do it. So for people who aren't professional writers, putting together a manuscript and all these ideas and writing and editing and it's their magnum opus and there's so much to do and understandably so, because they're not a professional writer. It is a Herculean effort. But for professional writers like you and me, it's just Tuesday. This is what we do all day, every day. We know how to write. And the time that what takes the most time in ghostwriting is not the writing. It's knowing what to write. What's the content? What's the direction? What are the points that we should make? What are the points that we should leave out? How does the reader want to read this? What tone should we have? Which voice does the author want to display? Those are the things that take time. The actual writing itself is not where I spend most of my time in a project. So as professional writers writing full time, we have the ability to take on more than one project without compromising the quality of any one project. And in fact, that brings us to point number two, which is, I believe, well, at least for me, I found that having more than one project at a time actually keeps me sharper, because I am able to. There are times whenever you need to relax and step away from the material so that you can come back at it with fresh eyes and with a new perspective. You get tired, especially if you're intellectually curious. You get tired after a while of dealing with just one set of facts or one area of information. So I found that it keeps me sharper if I'm able to, Monday be working on this project and Tuesday be working on that project. Wednesday I come back to this project and I have more energy for it. My mind has put a couple of things together. I'm a better writer whenever I have more than one project going on at any one point. Last but not least, there's the financial consideration. So if you are like me and you rely on your business for your income, I mean, my wife also works full time, but we have a dual income household. Um, if God forbid one of my projects falls through because the author, I had an author back out one time because his business restructured. He went through well, I guess I can't give all the details, but he had to stop the project because of considerations that were completely external to the project. Your author might go through a divorce. I've had ghostwriting colleagues whose authors, unfortunately, they suddenly died because of an accident or because of an undiagnosed medical condition. Now, while those are tragedies, if something like that happens to me, I still have to be able to provide for my family. I still have to be able to provide for the people who depend on me. I still have to pay the team members that are on my team, regardless of what my authors do. So I always want to have more than one source of income at any time, because if anything happens to any one of them, I have the reliance, I have the surety that I have, not the surety, the certainty that I have other sources of income that's rolling in, so that I can absorb that loss without it being detrimental to my business. So I hope that this gives you a little bit to work with. And as always, I hope it helps.